Greetings, one and all, and today we are trying to see if we can now climb in Fleet Arena with a 4-star Leviathan. This is for all you players out there that might not have him yet, or maybe you do and you haven't quite figured out how to use a 4-star Leviathan in Fleet Arena. But it is working against Profundity and Executor post fixes. And let's just take a quick look at what those fixes are and then jump into some battles. So there's a lot of little things added up to make a big difference. I have all the Leviathan stuff highlighted here, but there's also a TIE Dagger entry. Fixed an issue where TIE Dagger would only assist if allies use their basic on enemies inflicted with concussion mines. Now it's assisting a lot more Leviathan's Special 3. So that's the ultimate, I believe. It would not increase the cooldown of enemy ships. Now it is, which makes the ultimate more potent. It would inflict ferocity onto enemy Sith ships, which would help the enemy in a mirror. It's unique. Would only gain updated something there. That's not quite as important. Fixed an issue where Mark 6 doesn't get its devouring swarm stacks if the enemy capital ship has been taken over. That was a big problem. That was like a punishment for getting the ultimate off. The Profundity and Leviathan unique are no longer active on the enemy once you use your ultimate. You fixed an issue where Leviathan was dazing its own ships, and that's quite a killer. I'm also seeing daze a lot more often on enemy ships. I'm not seeing Profundity cleanse off when there's less than 3 debuffs. And they fixed the reinforcement order, and this is very, very important. So if you have Sith Fighter, Mark 6, and Scimitar in reinforcements, they will come in that order. Sith Fighter, then Mark 6 second, then Scimitar. So it's very important to have, I think, at least Sith Fighter and Mark 6 in your reinforcements, and that's what I'm going to do today with the 4-star, because that guarantees that your AI will come out with Mark 6 second. So if you're placing it on defense in Grand Arena, you want to do that. You don't want to start Sith Fighter or something else. It's really going to screw up the order. My opponent recently set, there's a little bit of spoiler, set Sith Fighter in the starting lineup, and that did not help out the fleet. But there's just a lot. It's just going a lot more smoothly for me recently, so let's just get into a couple battles. So first, let's start with the Profundity fleet, because this is the top fleet prior to Leviathan, so this is the biggest question mark, and Profundity can 3-man a Leviathan fleet, even at 7 stars, so it's important to know just how to approach the Profundity when you're on offense. This is a somewhat typical lineup, R7 dash, only R6 on Han and Chewie, which is a little bit lower than normal, but in my experience, it hasn't made too much of a difference. You can still come out with a win, although it's not guaranteed. I don't think I have lost yet since the updates, but it could happen right here today. The important thing is to try and target dash whenever you can, because you can avoid taunts sometimes with TIE Dagger and Sith Assassin. Trying to get as many hits as you can, because it's possible to kill him before you get out Y-Wing. Target there. Always sabotage the engines first, even if you have sabotage the hangars available. Because on 4-star, sabotage the hangars isn't actually that impactful. Here, I don't have too much that needs to happen. I mean, I don't really need to heal up. I'm not going to kill the bomber, but I'll just all the assists to try to get as many debuffs as I can to try to get my ultimate out sooner. And dash is looking in a great spot here for me. Low on health and protection. If they bring out Biggs, which a lot of people might believe sure do for some reason, target him instead of Y-Wing, because it's going to be easier to kill. Whenever TIE Dagger, be careful when you reinforce if TIE Dagger is going first or your reinforcement to make sure you do the right thing. And here I think I can take out Dash with success. So there we go. He's out before the Y-Wing, and that's a huge boost there. I'll do the special there to heal up. They're dazed. Millennium Falcon being dazed is amazing. And if they have daze on like Y-Wing or something, we don't want to hit them with more attacks, because we don't want to give them extra debuffs to get them to cleanse that daze. I sometimes like to protect Malgus' ship because it's more flimsy, and if we drop Taunt and then they start picking on Malgus, which they like to do, it's going to be easier to kill. And the Sith fighter, or the bomber can handle itself, so it doesn't absolutely need the crit immunity. Alright, so here we go. We got our Mark 6, and this is the beginning of the end for them. See, TIE Dagger's going, so I want to not waste its attack, and I want to attack Biggs. Just basic, get rid of the Y-Wing. If Dash is alive at this point, he's probably going to wipe out Mark 6, unless it has Foresight, which is generously provided by Sith Assassin quite often. Yeah, this is looking like game, set, match. My Mark 6 is dying, and I did not get enough debuffs to trigger the ultimate right away. I have to wait an extra turn, but they're pretty much dead to rights. I could possibly even kill this before the reinforcement, but I don't. Okay, so they both did non-attacking moves. It was fortunate. And there we go. This is game, set, match, and just got to finish off the rest of these ships. It's a little bit... One bug I am still noticing is when you put fear on them, they just shrug it off. It doesn't actually stick with them. Now, when you take over Profundity, I think the best thing to do is use the basic. Just grant a bonus turn to somebody. That's way more impactful than any of the other abilities. And yeah, Falcon is just about dead. There we go. So I didn't have a ton of time left, but I was pausing to talk a lot. So there's Leviathan versus Profundity. Pretty repeatable in my experience. And now let's try our hand at Executor. It is an R8 Piet, but the rest of the pilots are R7, so I don't think that's too much of an impact. I don't think that a little bit of speed boost is a huge material difference. But this one, it's a little bit slower. You just need to make sure you don't try to start spamming debuffs or anything until they drop their tenacity up. So it's very similar to the actual unlock event in that regard. And yeah, so just basic. Don't worry about spamming the special. Put this on the bomber every time to give you that breach immunity. It's really going to help slow down their ultimates, which is very important. I think starting with a heal ability is good because Executor is able to get hits off on a lot of your team, and they're going to need to be healed up early. Bring in Sith Fighter first, of course. It's going to stun Houndstooth, and then just try to do as much damage as you can to Cad Bane. I've been trying to target him earlier, but that's not typical, so that's not a great thing to show. Falcon coming in, that's not like normal. Usually it's like Boba Fett or IG-88, but that's what I have to deal with on a fleet shard, so. Okay. Then use this ability. I put crit immunity on Fury because just like in the other match, they like to target him, and the bomber loses his taunt sometimes, so. Can't target Cad Bane. We'll go at him. And bring in the reinforcements. This is where we kill Houndstooth. Always the priority. Otherwise, it's going to take forever and ever. Kill him. Heal up. I think the hardest reinforcement to deal with is Boba Fett when he comes in. But it doesn't always happen. So start with this ability first when you get a second turn after using the ultimate with the Mark 6, because you need more stacks. And for this guy, I'm not going to knock him down because his payout is going to be before mine. So I will just, once I get to the ultimate, show you that you can get there and it's game, set, match. Then we'll call it a day on this one. Yeah, so there we go. Got to the ultimate. It's not too long from now. Just, it's going to be annoying to deal with Boba Fett and his counterattacks and everything. And the Falcon is going to be a little bit slow, but it's going to win. I think the best move to use with Executor is the heal up. You just can heal someone up to full. Doesn't have to be Bounty Hunter or anything. And yeah, like I said, if you're stuck behind Boba Fett, it's going to be a bit irritating. He's counterattacking all the time, and he has crit immunity. But you get the point. We're going to get through this plenty easily, so that's at least one Executor in the fleet climb. So for now, it looks like these bug fixes have done enough to make it worth your while to climb in the fleet arena with just a 4-star Leviathan. 7-star, even easier. And Profundity can still 3-man it, which I don't honestly have a huge problem with. If that gets people's Profundities on offense, I'll take that. They need to have some counter, and the most recent GL ship, quote unquote, is a good place to start, and everything else is pretty sketchy, including Executor. So I am now pretty happy with how Leviathan is performing. And I don't know, I might rush to get 5-star and then just take it slow to 7-star because that's very expensive and I don't like spending lots of crystals. But anyway, let me know what you think. How are you doing with Leviathan? How's everything going for you? I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and sub, and I'll see you guys later.